Ooh. Okay. So, um, Lord, kids don't, and I'm talking about like I got a kid, but my son anyway, boy, they know how to bother you at the right time. But anyway, y'all, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Also Though Podcast. I'm back again. I really been bringing the content to y'all, so y'all can give me my award right now because I done beamed y'all up with technically two. This the third one, so I did two interviews this week. Okay, this is the third one. This interview right here. Like this is gonna be one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? Like what y'all people y'all still come out mixtape, like the streets been waiting on this one. Like this is one of them ones. So as usual, thank y'all for tuning in to the Also Though podcast on the Facebook page, because that's what most of y'all be at, the Facebook page. You know, we got the Also Dope Network YouTube page. So thank y'all for tapping into that. And also thank y'all for those who be tapping in on Spotify as well, because the numbers been kind of crazy on Spotify. So y'all be tapping in on the audio when I upload just the audio podcast as well. Thank y'all for tuning in when I'm on KHAM Radio, Flex Radio. Thank you to my sponsors, Moon and Sage Spiritual Shop, Rude Boy Artworks. Also, if you would like to sponsor a show, because I got a couple more interviews coming up. Not next week. I think I'm gonna chill next week, but definitely February. If y'all want to sponsor a show, please hit me up. And you can easily sponsor a show because I'm on different platforms. I do different things. So if you want to be a sponsor, we can go ahead and make that happen. We can go ahead and get with it. So I don't know. Don't ask me how long this podcast is gonna be because I don't know, because we just be flowing with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on. So y'all welcome Jarratt damn a Butler.
The one and only. Look, I
Go
love
ahead
that
and
you saying
introduce
it.
yourself.
Well, first of all, I love how you saying that the streets have been waiting on this. Like this, like we've been trying to get everything together. Your schedule was crazy. My schedule crazy. I'm damn near fighting
Yeah,
depression, but we finally here. So
absolutely.
for those that don't know, my name is Jarratt Butler. I am the host of It's About Damn Times podcast about self-discovery. It's my self-journey. I'm on the road to building a better me, and I like to have conversations with people, whether it's me doing solo episodes or whether it's me talking to guests that's going to uplift you, it's going to inspire you, it's going to entertain you, it's going to keep you informed. And that's what I do there on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, starting
Okay.
next week, because I ain't did one in a
You had
while. So
your you
starting
had
next
your
week.
you had your like I told you, I had my I'ma sit this one out season.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
had your I'ma see. Let's go ahead and talk about that. That's the first thing I want to dip into. So I had my okay, so y'all here. No, let me tell y'all what he said about me that I absolutely flipped out on, because nobody that really knows me would say that. He told me I was vulnerable. Because I was like, I admire his vulnerability and his transparency. He said, "You vulnerable too?" And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
I mean,
I don't.
look, maybe you don't do it on content wise because you try to you keep things controlled there on your podcast, but you damn
Mhm.
sure do it when you post on Facebook. So
You
you
think
damn sure,
so?
yeah, you talk about what you feeling at the time. Like vulnerability
I
don't
do.
have to be, oh, I'm about to say some shit that's gonna make somebody cry and boo hoo and feel some stuff. Sometimes like shit, I'm hungry. Like sometimes like shit, like I'm tired. Life is kicking my ass, and a lot of people don't do that on social media. They got to have their brand and be protected and this and that. So yeah, you are vulnerable.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take that. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna take that. I like that. I'm gonna take that. You like one that now I've had a couple of people say that, but it just I think sometimes it just depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I always feel like when people tell me that I'm vulnerable, I kind of look at them. So, I mean, yeah, I am, but at the same time, some people be thinking I'm just vulnerable because I'll be saying the shit, and I ain't scared about what I'm saying. I'm definitely
Yeah.
scared to say it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like it has me in my feelings. It has me in my mode, and I get nervous. I hide like a turtle, you know. So
Yeah.
all that's still
Yeah.
there. It's just pushing yourself to continue to do it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. So it's me, vulnerable Ron Brown.
That's what I'm
I'm here.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
So what did you do during your I'm gonna sit this one out season? How did you get into your oh, that's what I was talking about. So I got into my I'm gonna sit this one out season. I had a situation that almost went too far with people. And so that's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm finna
Yeah.
go take me a break from people because I knew after that situation, I was like, you know what, I'm not finna handle anything like a mature citizen. I'm just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Like the
So,
crash out was like right here. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out.
yeah, that's probably smart. I'm glad you did that because you feel it. You feel it when you about to sit there and just rip shit up and you about to tear
Yeah.
down everything, and you're just like, you know what? Let me just sit down for it. And part of that is probably because of the situation, and another part of it is probably because you're tired. Like because we talked about this before we hit record. You be doing so much. And so, like, when you get run down and then you get irritable and then something that you might have let this just slide and you're like, you know what, I'm just not gonna mess with the person no more. When you're tired and you drain, you like, you know what, they about to feel all of my tiredness right now.
Period.
And so sometimes it's like this. So I think that's good maturity to know that okay, I need to break. And
Yeah.
I think for me, always towards the end of the year, I'm just tired. Like it's everything that I'm doing, and I get run down. I tend to like live life by a cycle every year. So towards the beginning of the year, I'm all excited, got my goals all lined up. I'm like, I'm about to hit this thing hard. I go super hard, too hard, because I didn't wear myself out. And so now about around March or April, I'm just like, I'm tired. Okay, well, I'm gonna chill because my birthday coming up. So this is my vacation time to chill on my birthday. And then I kind of do like a little slow drag until the end. And then by the summertime, like, well, my kid gonna come visit me, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit. Then, and in the fall, you trying to build back up again. And you just, it's like you're carrying a fucking boulder. And then, towards the end of the year, you're like, I'm tired, so I'm just gonna move everything towards the beginning of the year, and I'm gonna start fresh, and then the cycle starts again. So I'm trying to break that. Excuse me, because I feel like when I do that, I'm only like productive maybe 3 to 6 months out of the year, like the productivity that I want to be. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like I'm able to accomplish all of my goals. So this year, this past winter, I had a couple things that happened that made me slow down. One, I lost my job, got laid off. So it's like, so somebody who is the steady person who always has the outlook on everything and never really wavers when that happens. So now I'm trying to figure out how I'm living. That's stressful. And then I'm like, all right, let me try to launch my podcast agency. Let me try to look for another job. Let me try supplement ink. So I'm sitting there trying to do a whole lot of different things, plus the holidays coming up. So I was like, I need some time, and it came at the right time to make the decision to be like, I think I looked at you and I looked at another creator that I'm really cool with, Cookie Brown out of Dallas, who has the dope podcast as well. She shut her stuff down right around November too, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that too. The very next week, I was like, yeah, me too, y'all. Holiday. I'm tired.
Yeah. So how did you handle losing your job?
I mean, I would love to give you the mature answer that I was stoic and everything was smooth and everything. And I cried a lot.
Okay.
I cried a lot. I cried a lot privately. I cried a lot publicly because I went to a podcast conference in Baltimore right around October. Like it was like October later on that month. And I was sitting there trying to talk to people about monetization and asking questions on that. And all of a sudden start crying in front of a room full of podcast people. I was like, oh my God. So that wasn't That wasn't my smoothest moment at all.
Boy, I'm telling you. Look, I have them a lot. Those all of a sudden mental breakdowns, and you just
Mhm.
talking and having a good time, and then it's like, oh Jesus, what
Yeah.
is going on?
Right when the entire room was looking at me, it was
Yeah.
crazy. So what do you do as what do you do as a podcaster? You make content about it. So I made the content about it. I made an episode about it. But it was just taking time to try to. I think what I did that was differently because I also suffer from seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression, how it's been called in the past. And so this is just normally a tough time frame for me anyway. It's cold outside, ain't a whole lot of sun. I ain't going outside. I gotta start taking vitamin D, which I've been doing, but still. So I was really struggling with that. But I took the time to actually, instead of like trying to push to still be productive, sit there and like, you know what? Hey, rest. So my day might have looked like today is going to be, I'm going to watch all of the Justice League cartoons today. You know what I'm saying? Like today might be just, I even though it's gonna cost me a little bit more money for Uber Eats, I ain't about to go outside. I ain't about to go outside today. But it's not standing there and lingering in it. It's just like all right, here's a couple days you're gonna do that, and then the next day it's like, okay, let's try to do something productive. Now we ain't gonna sit there and do all the stuff and edit the whole podcast episode and record another one. Maybe you put some towels in the washing machine. You know what I mean? Like let's do something small. So those are the little things that I did, and I finally built up to the point where when you said, "Hey, let's do this," I'm like, "All right, cool. This is my time frame. You got a little time left to sit there and be this vegetable, but now it's time to get back at it." So
yay!
I'm here because of you. I'm here because of you.
Let's go. So go ahead and tell us about your podcast.
Okay, yeah. So, excuse me. The podcast started really. Well, actually, I've been doing podcasting for like maybe off and on for about maybe 10, 11 years. Like when I was doing somebody else's project, or it was, I was doing something with a group of guys and everything. But I didn't start mine until 2020, October 9th, 2020. And I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I kept saying it over and over again. And Facebook memories would be torturing me because you'll see 2 years ago you said sorry for the wait, podcast coming soon. Like, podcast is still coming, y'all. Sorry. So but honestly, I was just scared, and I was scared, and then I didn't know exactly what to do. Like your friends would gas you up, like you should have a podcast. You should talk about this, and I got so many different interests on what I want to talk about. But you know how it is with podcasts. You gotta pick a lane. You can't just sit there and just talk about everything.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But at the same time, I ain't gonna limit myself to just this because a lot of people was like, well, you a mental health advocate, so you should talk about mental health. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about that all the time.
Not all year long.
Not all year long. So let me find something where it shows more of Jarratt, where it's Jarratt's personality and everything, and so brainstorming the name. It's about damn time came up with it, and I still didn't really know what it was. I was just kind of recording episodes. I just wanted to have dope conversations with dope people. That was like the tagline when I first started. And then I got to a point where I was like, I try to educate people a lot, and then I started looking at my life, the times where somebody might ask me advice for anything from relationships to what laxatives to take to what vitamins to take or whatever. So it wasn't even until like episode 75 that I realized, I'm like, yo, is this a educational podcast? Am I like uplifting people? And I would ask the question to people, they were like, duh. Like, how you didn't know?
Right.
I ain't know. So it's weird. So the podcast is teaching me about me, and that's and I've hung on to that. You know what I'm saying? The podcast really does teach me about me. It's topics that I really want to talk about, that I want to learn about, that I want to distribute to other people. That I sit there and thinking, when I'm overthinking in bed and I can't sleep, and then the TikTok lady then told me to go to bed because I've been scrolling for so long. So now I'm thinking about what is it about me that that's bothering me, and that's what the podcast essentially is about. So
Yeah. So for me, I've had plenty of podcasts. My issue was consistency.
Mm,
So I would start a podcast. I want to say I done had like 3 or 4 possibly.
really?
Yeah, I want to say I done had 3 or 4. I'm gonna have to go back in
So
my computer and look. But my
so
issue
what?
was consistency, and that's because um I was so busy, and
Mhm.
then I always felt like, in a sense, I had to have somebody. Like, I can't
Yeah,
do like,
that part.
you
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? So
Oh
it
yeah.
used to be like me and some friends or me and a friend, because I'm very, believe it or not, I'm very I admire how you do your podcast by yourself, because I can't. I haven't gotten there yet, to be honest. Like, I can't do a whole podcast just I feel like I can't
You
do
could.
a whole podcast
You
talking to
100%
myself.
could. You
Uh,
could absolutely. Now it takes it does take time because I'm gonna tell you something. I was scared shitless trying to do a solo
mhm.
pod. That is the scariest thing. Is talking to somebody and talking to a guest. You can do the research, or if they one of your friends, it's
Right,
easy. But
right,
you sit here looking at the camera like this, like, and then trying to be
right.
entertaining. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
Exactly. So
you
that
can
was
do that though. But you can.
I
I don't think you understand how entertaining and engaging you are. I don't think you really understand that. Yes, you Ron. Yes, Ron. You got a podcast that people listen to and watch. Yes, you. I I read all your Facebook statuses. You know what I mean? So I'm engaged. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Well, yes, you can do it.
and I just don't feel like I just be being me. So I don't feel like it's a uh I can't think of the word. I don't feel like it's a trait or characteristic. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I
I
mean,
just be
I get
just
that,
be doing stuff. Like,
but it is. But that's what we like. We like that you just being
oh,
you.
I just be chilling.
Yeah, we like it.
I'm gonna try it one day.
Try it out. But I do want to ask you this. I want to ask you this. So you
Mhm,
said you had 3 or 4 different podcasts, right?
mhm,
And you said, and I get the whole part with the friends, and then you try to get your friends on,
mhm,
then they not as passionate about it as you are, so then you kind of fall
mhm.
off a little bit, things like that. So this podcast, what
Mhm.
made the change for you to become consistent? Because you're still busy as hell. You
Yeah,
still
I
got
am
everything going on.
extremely,
So
extremely.
what made it the consistency happen for you on this podcast?
I stay ahead.
Mm,
So like I've already I already got like 3 interviews scheduled for February, and I've
mm,
already made the flyers.
that's dope.
And then
That's
sometimes
dope.
I make my flyers ahead of time. Like, I got flyers with people on it that I haven't even asked to be on my podcast.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
So when I finally get to asking them and they say yes, it's already done.
Mm-hmm.
So long as I stay ahead of the game. So like I'm getting stuff ready for February, and then like the first week of February, which is next week, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting stuff ready for March.
I
So
like that.
the main thing is staying ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Long as I'm staying ahead, I know I'm gonna be consistent, because I always look at my calendar and I always have it in my head. Okay, Ron, you got 3, 4, 5 interviews this month.
Yeah.
And I just be, as long as I'm staying ahead of the game. That's what's been working for me as far as consistency. Consistency is staying ahead.
I like that. That's something that I'm learning, and something that
Mhm.
I'm a hypocrite. So
Okay.
I tell it to people
Okay.
all the time about being
Okay.
consistent and everything, right? But I
Hmm.
struggle with consistency. I just recently said, I was like, yo, that's the number one thing. If I lock down consistency in
Hmm.
anything that I'm trying to do, whether is weight loss or
Hmm.
beating depression, or even podcasting, you lock down the consistency, that's a wrap. Everything else is easy.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. So, and then I just make sure these days, even with work, my 9 to 5, and the other stuff that I do, I just do my best to stay a month or 2 a month or two ahead, and I'll be, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
ready. So
Yeah.
that was my main thing. Consistency. Yeah.
I like that. The flyer thing really got me excited. Like because I have the thing where I have like a list of the guests that I know I want to talk to, but I might not have figured out what we talking about yet and everything. So as I'm scrolling, part of this entertainment and part of it is also like, ooh, is this a good topic? I can match this up with this person. Like, so you're trying to do that type of thing. But like I think late last year, that's when I started getting into the whole, let me create these flyers ahead of time, and I started asking people's pictures and everything. And it's one that I hadn't recorded yet that I'm supposed to be hopefully recording in the next couple of weeks. But I did the flyer like.
And see, that's another thing. I sometimes I do want to like record and edit mine and stuff like that. But when I think about it, I honestly don't have time. So that's why I do mine live. Because going back and editing is gonna take up time, and I don't have time. Even though I edit videos and stuff for a living, like, but I just don't have time to like be going back and editing the part. Like, no, that's gonna take up too much. So I'm like, you know what? I just rather do mine live. And do it. I just rather do mine live and go like that instead of recording it and going back and editing.
Well, see that why you talk about me with my solo episodes. See, when you doing live, that shit's scary to me. Like,
really?
Just the thought of going, like, I can't even, like, me thinking about going live in general. Like, I think right before we started recording, I was just sitting here. I was like, could I do this? Could I start doing like some episodes where it just be live?
I think you should. I mean, I think you will be good. I think you will be good live because you just talk about good stuff. To me, you got good episodes. You have everybody. I'm trying to think of when it's my turn. I don't know what kind of inspiration, motivational stuff I got to say because you be having some fire. You be having some motivational fire, and I'm like, man, I don't be getting on. Lord, I said, I don't know what.
No. But because you know what? Because I really feel like we are all inspirational.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think each and every one, especially you. Well, you downplaying yourself. I ain't about to let you downplay yourself on your show, but especially you. But we all are inspirational, and even the times where we don't feel like we sing, we don't feel like no one cares and everything. Someone is looking at you. Someone is like,
that's
yo,
fake.
you are fighting. Oh, I like the way you're doing it. Somebody's sitting in the corner envious that they wish they were where you are while you trying to get here. They're way down here. No, seriously. No, it's serious.
That's a whole nother that right what you just said, that's a whole nother episode. That's another episode because boy, let me drink my water. Go ahead.
But it's true. Somebody somewhere is looking at you and saying, hey, I'm trying to get what Ron doing right now. I'm trying to be where seriously, because think about it. You got a consistent podcast. You got all the projects that you're working on, everything that you do. You stay busy. People generally love you. They generally love you and want to support you. I see the support. Because not only do I look at your stats, I be looking at the comments under there. You know what I mean? Because I'm nosy. So people love you and they support you. You know what I'm saying? So it's there.
Yeah,
it's there. Okay. All right. So good. Claim it.
I ain't gonna lie. It's there. It's definitely there. It's definitely there.
And so there are people that's trying to be where you are, and strangely enough, I guess there's people just trying to be where I am. I don't know why either, but that's the truth. And so as we aspire to sit there and go higher and higher and higher,
right.
There are other people that's like, yo, I'm just glad to know this person. I want to feed off their energy. Their energy or inspire me to do stuff. It's been so many conversations I've had with people where they're like, yo, what you doing is inspiring me to keep going. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Are you sure? Jarratt damn Butler? Like Jarratt, like Jarratt? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because I sure be looking at people like, what? Like, y'all just don't know. Like, y'all just don't know.
The struggle be real.
I be like, y'all just know. I be up at 4 a.m, like getting it. So like, even though I be in the bed early, But like 4 in the morning, like I'm up and at it, like
Right.
getting it. It's just
I think people look at the finished product and they don't see the grind. They
right.
don't think
Oh
about the
yeah, yeah,
grind.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
you being up at 4 a.m, me staying up late, sitting there going over stuff and on my phone, like, okay, I need to talk to this person. Let me schedule this text message to come out over here. Or I still I want to redo this intro. Oh, I gotta do something to start as far as a recording for somebody that I know. Like all that stuff is popping in my head. Hell, using AI to sit there and try to help run my life because I can't run it by myself. All that stuff is happening. People don't know. They just see the end result. Like, yo, I saw that 30-second clip. Yeah, you look good. I like your podcast. I'm like, you have no idea how long that took to get all of that together.
Yeah. It be like that.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. I got Jarratt Butler. Podcast phenom.
Not podcast phenom.
So
Oh God.
if y'all just tapping in, put your if you have any podcast questions, please put them in while I got him here. Y'all can thank me later. To answer your podcast podcast or content type questions. So put them in there, and look. I'm not gonna say nothing. He gonna answer them because I ain't doing it.
I ain't the one to be having classes and everything. I'm just like, I ain't the one to be having classes. Like, that ain't me. I don't have that type of confidence. I don't know. I can't go live. I can't speak in front of the public to sit there and start saying, "Hey, this is how you start a podcast." That's just me. I don't know. That's you.
Well, okay, so I honestly have not done another one yet. I've only did that one class. So what I be trying to tell people is, because it happened to me, like when I first started podcast some years ago. People get caught up in the YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they see people like right now, you got a top-notch microphone, your camera is clear, all that. They think that that's where you're supposed to start. They don't know that you have to build up to that, because this equipment costs.
It does. And
it costs. It costs.
It's cost.
It costs. So
and don't get it twisted. Like it ain't sweet over here either. So this microphone, for example, I bought this when I was doing a podcast called Vex Intellects, which is for individuals, and we bought this on eBay. $100, like $150 at the time. You know what I mean? I have other mics around here. Yeah, one's I ain't got the good mic that I really want. This camera, for example, Jerry, like the camera is so clear and everything. This is my phone. My phone plugged up. It's my phone. It's my phone. Is routing through the computer. I got lights that somebody bought that was donated. I got a couple other lights that was here from Amazon that was like $17-$18. It's not about necessarily you got to start out from like this level and this how it looks. It's about first of all, like we talked about before, being consistent. Because if you got all this shit and you only put out one episode every 2 or 3 months, it don't even matter, right? So the consistency is one thing. Having content that people can relate to, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna actually be vulnerable, open up, talk about things that people resonate with, and not just give like platitudes and euphemisms and like, oh well, what I would have did in this situation. No, you wouldn't. Whatever. So that's another thing. It's the content part about it. And then I mean, I'm keeping it real.
No, for real.
We'll sit on a soapbox and be like, yeah, I would. Okay, all right, whatever. So it just is really just about being that part. Your audience, when they connect with you, they're gonna take that ride with you. So as you upgrade, they're like, oh shit, Jerry, looking better. Like I literally remember when I switched from the webcam to my phone and I started cutting some clips differently. And I had people who've been rocking with me was like, oh, I see what you done came up. I'm like, I'm just trying to do some different shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The content and the consistency is the number one thing. Everything else is gonna come in time. So
absolutely, because my microphone microphones I started out with were like maybe $50. But this I got the Rode mic. This one was like 200. So it
I
definitely.
love Rode. I love
I
Rode.
do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Thank God for a firm.
That part. Look, y'all
Come
better use
on.
a firm. Y'all better use a firm.
Listen, I look, I be telling people I don't have it like that.
Yeah.
I ain't got it like that. So all my photography equipment and these microphones and my wireless Rode microphones, baby, it's in the name of a firm. Klarna,
Yeah.
Sizzle, Afterpay.
All of them.
I love it. Whoever let me go, whoever approves this. I
Right.
mean, yeah.
I
So
got all of them on my phone, and I just cycle between all of them to see who's gonna let me do it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna let me do it?
Yeah. And your iPhone is the things you do on your iPhone is. I tell people that too. Like you don't need a fancy camera. The iPhone is perfectly fine. There's nothing.
It's about that. Excuse me. It's about taking that time, but it's also like not just throwing shit to the wall too. It's about taking that time to research the stuff and figuring out the stuff. So I'm not. I didn't come. Now, did I have the degree in mass comm from ULM? Sure. Did I go to class to know how to do all this stuff? Nah, I skipped and class, and I barely graduated. So I kept when I started doing this, I started kicking myself like, why did I pay attention in Mr. Gibson's class on video editing? But it's about that passion to want to get better, and I think that's the thing. What sticks out for me, I really want to get better. Like I can do a fire ass episode, and I feel like it's great. One of the best things I've done, and I can listen back to it like a day or two later. I'm like, I don't like the way I did this. I don't like the way I did that.
Oh, let me tell you, we are our worst critics.
We are.
Don't even get me started. Like, even with my pictures, when I show my pictures to other people, oh, that's beautiful. That's nice. I'm like, this shit trash. This ain't nothing close to
fire. It's not, but I get it. It's not, but I get
it.
Like
I should have stepped 2 places to the left. I should have reached my arm up a little higher. Maybe I should have kneeled down to like get the right angle, but I just be like, for real? I ain't finna change your mind. You think it's fire? Yeah, this shit fire.
If you say it's fire, it's fire.
If you say it's fire, it's fire. But I swear I'm way better.
But that's what keeps us in the game, though. That's what keeps us to try to be the best that we can be is that part. And if you are just showing up far as content creation of your podcast, and you just showing up just to kind of just show up and like, okay, I've created a groove and this is what I'm doing, and you've been doing that same groove for a year, you're not trying to get better. You're doing the same shit you always been doing. You have it's because between the new technology, between new philosophies, how social media trends change, between the use of AI. If you ain't over here looking up stuff. Because a lot of times, I might be looking at TikTok, but I might be going on a binge on TikTok looking up, how I can use AI for my podcast.
Okay. So for me, because I plan the days, I'm real. Lord, I'm telling you, organization has taken over my soul. Like I'm severely organized sometimes. I plan my days when I get on YouTube and just watch tutorials all day long.
Exactly. Friday's my day. Friday's my day. Yeah.
Okay.
Friday's my day. So Friday's like what I call my training day, and that's what it is. So
I like that training day. I like that. Okay.
So if I wanted to sit there and get better at video editing or audio editing or using AI or like I write a list down, and so today this one, and now I'm on YouTube. And that's what I'm doing. That's the entire day. So even if I don't go nowhere, if I'm in my kitchen cleaning up, that YouTube is playing and I'm learning some stuff, and I might stop and pause. I'm like, okay, what? Like it's about talking to people that is in the industry that you feel like, or like my podcast mentor is somebody who came on my podcast, and I told her she's gonna be my podcast mentor. I was like, yo,
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know if you know this, but I think you know it's fun. You must be my podcast mentor. She laughed and said, okay. And she checks in with me regularly now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have to commit to being better. Whatever you, and that's not even just content creation or podcasting. Whatever you're trying to do with your life. Whatever you're trying to do with your life. Because it's difficult. I just started this business and I had the first 2 months, everybody was excited about it. So they bought stuff from me and everything. But then the last 3 or 4 months, everybody kind of, find some new customers because your customers ain't going to be just your friends. So figure out a way to put you in front of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Work that. Like you can't, it's not going to come to you. Nothing's coming to you. And that's what I had to do to get myself out of this hole I've been in for the last month or two. It's like the job ain't about to come knock on my door, but like, hey, here's some money. You start on Monday. You know what I mean? Right. You gotta get your ass up and start making some stuff happen.
And you have to be teachable.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be teachable. I be itching to learn and relearn so bad.
Yes.
I'm not afraid to get in damn photographer inbox and say how you did this. How you did this? Can you show me how to do that? Do you got a class? How much it costs? Mm-hmm. I was at I had fun too. I was at I'm gonna go again this year. Last year, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to travel to workshops. I was at the Black Effect Podcast Festival last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was fire. I didn't necessarily learn. I didn't necessarily learn anything new per se, but I just kind of peep game on ear hustling people conversation. Ear hustling people conversation, trying to see what they was talking about. Just looking at different podcasters and listening to their stories about how they did stuff, how they got their sponsors, and how they, just made like hella money. So my favorites from last year was definitely Gilly and Wallow. Mm-hmm. They got a hella hustle. They got a hella hustle.
You'll pick up so much for those conferences and everything, and it's not necessarily just the workshops. Because I've been in conferences where the workshops, I'm like, oh, that changed the way I'm thinking about stuff. And then the last couple conferences, maybe the workshops didn't really get me, but the networking or just the camaraderie, or hell, just being in a room with people that's in the same struggle as you, they get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like in October when I was there, especially after losing the job, so I'm already kind of down anyway. Yeah. And everybody kept saying you should end up going anyway because you need to be poured into. I'm like, I could be saving this money, be doing something else. But I went because I use a firm, and so I went.
Stop by a firm.
So I went, and I'm there, and I'm picking up on so much stuff, and like, okay, I cried, but then after crying, people walked up to me and was like, "Yo, your vulnerability inspired me." Like and then it was like getting flowers from people that you didn't even think about because they're like, "Oh, you is about the entire pod, yeah. I look at your clips all the time, boy. You is." I'm like, me, and to be poured into, to get that knowledge, to get tips. I got my mentor. I pulled her to the side. We had a whole meeting for for an hour, and everything. Yeah. She gave me some stuff. That is powerful. That is powerful. You have to learn how to expand in the things that you are trying to do. It can't be just you in your apartment working from home and then that's it. And you gotta find ways to inspire people and to be inspired. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, I get you. Get you. So how did you? And you are a mental health advocate, correct? Okay, so how did you get into being an advocate for men's mental health at that? Correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think.
Yeah, he be having some good looking memes on his podcast too. Let me talk about that. Ooh, I don't know if they be married, but they be cute. So y'all got to tune in to his podcast because the memes be on there looking cute. Y'all got to see the memes.
I'm glad you mentioned that because most people, they be looking at me like, "Yo, Jared, do you ever have a guy on your podcast?" I'm like, Yeah. Look, I was raised by my mom and my grandma, so I'm gonna gravitate towards women. But yeah, the guys are welcome as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. How did I get into it? I think just being depressed. I think I have been dealing with depression probably as long as I can remember.
Okay.
Clearly, my entire adult life, and I don't think I understood it, per se, especially in college. I just knew it was sometimes of the year I got sad and I had uncontrollable crying, and all my friends told me to go to the school counselor, and I talked about it for a while. And after that, like I got it out or I buried it or whatever, and then I just kind of kept going. And that's why I talk about the cycles for the year. That was stuff that was happening right around the same time every year.
Okay.
And I think it wasn't until like really one of my jobs, I had switched to work in the graveyard shift.
Okay.
And I think it was the complete lack of sunlight and like no sleeping because I can't sleep throughout the day. And I already had the mental thing, and excuse me, I just started really. I had people that was coming to see me, and I was laid on the floor in the fetal position. Like I couldn't take it. And it started the journey to try to do therapy, and then it started the journey of trying to, am I taking medication or not? Okay, what kind of medication am I taking? So now I'm doing that. Now trying to break the stigma about it, because now I feel like I don't want to be on this medication forever or like that. And so then I started looking at other things that you could do to help you when it's not just prescription pills and antidepressants and things like that, and got into looking at how magnesium and vitamin D affects your mood, and how stress in sleep affects things, and just moving your body, just in general. Like it's not just for just the big bulging muscles, it's for it's for the mental state, and all that kind of came together throughout the years. And there still was struggles. It was still times that I wanted to take my life. It was still times where like it wasn't even just a thought. It was like, okay, I got these pills in my hand. I'm about to make this happen. It was times like, and I'll never forget, like it was February 13th of like 2015. That was the day I was like, I'm done. I had scheduled a therapy session with somebody new because I knew I needed to talk about it. But I had, instead of me taking a whole half a day off, or instead of me taking a whole day off and then going to my therapy session, I decided that I'm going to work until like the last hour of my shift, and then I'm just going to leave an hour early. And so what my dumb ass didn't think about was the fact that it was a Friday night, and Atlanta traffic on Fridays is crazy. It was raining, so if it was a drop of rain in Atlanta, the traffic is crazy. Yeah. And it was Valentine's Day weekend, so everybody had left out early to try to be with their boo. So I couldn't make it. So my mind was racing. I was trying to figure out like what were my next steps. I went to one of my friends' houses that was on the way, so at least they could talk me down. They were there. They answered though. Like they did. So I was just like, no, we ain't friends now no more, so it don't matter anyway. But they didn't answer no. So that was rough. And then I at that point in time, Ron, I was like, I'm about to do it. Let me just figure out a way on how I'm about to take my life. Let me just figure this out. I'm about to do something. And luckily, my therapist was waiting a little longer, and she called. She was like, just making sure that you were you're on your way here and everything, because I was trying to wait a little longer for you. And I was like, oh, yeah, it was traffic. Yeah, I'm coming, please. Thank you so much. I was like crying. Like I was like, thank you. I just needed a lifesaver. I just needed a line thrown in the water so I wouldn't drown. And I got there, and I had now big black guy, hoodie on his head, and got headphones on, and I'm just sitting there looking like sinister, only because I was just trying not to cry, But she don't know me, right? So she's looking at me, and she's like, "Oh shit, I'm all alone in this office, and I wait on this dude." And she was like, "Hello," and I took my headphones off, and then I put my hood on, took my hood off, and I looked at her, and I busted out crying. She was like, okay, I can handle crying. I didn't know what he was gonna do. So she was like, you saw her whole thing change. She was like nervous, and then I started crying. She was like, oh, I got this. Okay.
Okay.
She was like, all right, this is what I'm training for. I got this. I ain't gotta fight nobody. I just gotta hit him some tissue. He good.
Yeah.
And that day saved my life. And I ended up trying to mention it, like I think the following year I tried to, mention that on a podcast or something like that. And I put it out there and I was scared. I was so scared.
Yeah.
Because I have been vulnerable, but I hadn't been that level of vulnerable.
Right.
But when I started getting responses where people like, yo, I felt this way. Thank you for sharing. Like, this is what I'm going through right now. Can we talk about it? And I was like, okay, I guess I'm a mental health advocate now. It was more to it than that, but it felt that way because from then on, when I post about it, I'm the mental health advocate. And then when somebody, if somebody is going through something where they think about it, or they kid is like that, or they got a friend that's like that, or a situation like that, all of a sudden my phone rings and somebody telling me about that. I'm like, are you talking to me about it? Like, well, yeah, Jerry, because you go through it, you know how to talk about it. Every time I ask you a question, you got the right answer. I'm like, y'all know I be pulling this shit out of my ass, right? Like, I don't think y'all know that I ain't got no formal training. I ain't got no booklet here. Like, I just be talking and try. So find you a therapist. Don't rely on Jarratt Butler. Find you a therapist. I am here for you, though. I am here for you to be a stopgap until you find your therapist. So
therapy,
I want to be clear about that. Therapy is so important.
Therapy is important. I didn't realize how important it was until I decided to do it. Till I decided, like, Ryan, you done been through enough. You need some extra boost in the little pieces of brain you got left. You need your extra boost. So y'all please get a therapist.
What made you do it?
You know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I ended up in a I don't know what words to use. It wasn't a relationship. It wasn't a situationship. It was, I'm gonna put it in quotation marks, relationship.
Okay.
And
been there.
Yeah. It was yeah. Out of all the things I done been through, it was a relationship that made me go to therapy. Because it didn't, for the lack of a better word, it didn't work out. And it ended up awkward. Or it ended up how I thought it was gonna end up, but it got to me more than I thought it would.
Yeah, because you let your guard down a little bit.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's what actually made me go. That's what made me go to therapy.
That the maturity that you have to sit there and do that is big, because there are a lot of us, especially as Black people. There's a lot of us that a situation will hit. Whether and I think they think it's got to be you. Oh, I'm about to kill myself, so that's why I got to go to a therapist. No, it could be something like that, where it's a relationship that affected you to that point where it's like, yo, I need some help to get past it. But instead of us actually going and working through those steps, we generalize all people of the opposite sex or the same sex or whoever I'm dating like that is like that. So that's how. So in going forward, this is how I'm about to act. And and now we embrace those insecurities. Now we embrace the thought process that started from one person. One person has caused you to change every way how you react to anybody that you sit there and date after the fact. They got to sit there and suffer from that because you refuse to go to therapy to get you back on an even keel.
Right. So yeah, all the stuff I done been through in my life, everything I done been through, it took a relationship. It took a relationship to send me to. It took a relationship to send me to a therapist.
It don't matter what got you there as long as you got there. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I do have to find another one though, because the therapist that I had, oh my God, that was a treacherous day. When my therapist told me that he was leaving leaving the company, you talk about fell out like I lost a child.
Yeah.
You talk about I'm talking about I literally had a Holy Ghost fit, like for real, because oh Lord, my eyes sweating.
Oh man. if your eyes start sweating, my eyes gonna start sweating. Hold on.
It man, when I tell you, it hurt me so bad because I felt like somebody is leaving me again.
Oh.
And I'm like, I have opened myself up to you. I mean, I was cutting. I know he glad it was virtual because I was cutting up. I said, you're leaving me. I can't believe you're doing this to me. And I opened myself up to you. You just like everybody. I put up so bad he started crying. He was crying.
But that's because he felt it, and that's Ron. That's real. There's a lot of us. I know there's people in my life, loved ones in my life that I know have that issue that people have always disappointed them, and so the rare times, and I think that's why I think I try to bend over backwards to people please so much because I know a lot of people that do it, and so now I can't live my life because I'm people pleasing because I don't want to disappoint them so they won't have that same fit. But that's my issue, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that do that, and I think the talk about therapy is so good. We need to find a therapist. I think that's only the beginning of the conversation. I think a lot of times we end on it. The thing about it is finding a therapist is fucking hard. Finding a therapist that works for you is hard, and it's not like you can't just go to 1 or 2 sessions with this one person and be like, yeah, that don't work for me. It's like finding the right doctor. It's like shopping for a car. It's like everything. It's like shopping for the right shoes that you want. Everything is a process. And so that's a process too, and it's a process to have that person, and then when you finally find that person, to then open up. And so for you, in that example that you gave, you fought that through that process. You opened up, and then they left, and they left the company. So now you got to go through the whole process of like trying to heal. Where do I even want to open up again? Because I'm afraid somebody will leave me again.
And that's why I have not found another therapist, or I have not taken the time out to find out where this particular therapist is. Because I'm like, you know what?
I get you. Sometimes when that separation happens, you just need that break because it's almost like because it's essentially an end of a relationship,
right?
And most of us don't break up with somebody that we were open and vulnerable with and just hop in with somebody else. Most of us, now some of us do that, but that's a different episode. That's a different episode.
That's a whole other episode, right.
So you needed that healing time. You know what I mean? You needed that, but. Because I've had that between breaks from my therapist. So one of the first things I'm doing when I get a new job, once they say the benefits kick in, great therapy appointment. Let's set it up. Matter of fact, I may start looking now so I know who I can grab on day one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you took the time to heal, and I think that's important. And it's also important that you are at a space where you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to. I think I'm ready now to start back and try to find something. That's you can't tell me Ron Brown ain't dope. I ain't no way you gonna tell me that Ron Brown ain't dope. I'm sorry.
I just wake up every day and be myself. That's all I got.
And that's what make you dope.
That's all I got.
And that's what make you dope.
Crying behind my therapist. I swear.
That's all right. That's all right.
My therapist was the best. Like my therapist was everything. He was everything. I just feel like he just understood me. Like, I get you.
Yeah.
It's hard to find people that get you. Yeah, it's hard to find people that get you. So yeah.
You got this. You can find them. You can find them again.
I will.
Yeah.
I got to knock on some doors at these businesses.
Look, You can give me a name after this episode. I'll do some Google search for you too. We'll be on the internet together. I got you. Yeah. Whatever you need.
Oh, y'all, that was our mushy moment.
Yeah. We had to have one. We had to have one. You know,
We had to have one.
I just assumed that I was gonna be the one that cried. You know what I mean?
No, it's me. It's me.
I assumed it was me because I've been crying like for like last couple of months. But maybe my tear ducts is dried up. Right, at this point.
What kind of goals do you have for yourself? What kind of goals do you have for yourself and your podcast?
So goal wise is hard for me because I'm a person that I'm I'm an analyst by nature. So as an analyst, I'm always refreshing numbers and looking, and I have goals in mind. And me and ChatGPT be having these talks. I'm like, all right, I need to get this many more downloads, and I need to get this many more followers and everything. And this is what I love about the break that I had. And even there is a silver lining in losing my job too, where I'm having to have time to think, how much does that shit matter? Like now it matters as far as like what, if obviously I want to do this full time. So like having that and ads and monetizing and everything, that's great. But for the overall arching thing of how I want to inform, entertain, and inspire people, how much does that matter? Because when I talk to people who maybe hear a clip or they listen to a podcast episode and it changes the way they think, or they like, yo, I'm still fighting. Like that shit hit. That shit hit me in a way where it just makes me just sit there, and I want more of those moments. And so the greed there is to have downloads and get a number of people in your community. Obviously you want the numbers to go up, but I want the quality things where it's really going to build a community. And it's not just me talking to other people and inspiring. Right. I want the inverse. I want you to be talking to me and you say some shit. I'm like, well, hey, that should not only that should inspire me, come on the podcast so you can inspire others. I really truly want to build a community that we're holding each other down and everything. So I started looking at it differently. So which is why I probably haven't been on social media as much as I probably need to be. I kind of slowed down on that. But but for me it's more about the quality of the post. I'm still talking about, not everything's a clip and, still sharing how I'm feeling at the time, but I just don't want to just say stuff just to like try to get my numbers up anymore. And I think that's where I've gotten to at that point now. So for the podcast this year, definitely want to grow the community, definitely want to increase things. Flirting with the YouTube channel, like I'm flirting around. Is it there? Yes, it's there. Like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that. Like how I want to do with it, because I don't know if I want it just to be just podcast episodes. Maybe it's just one-on-one talks. Maybe it's just maybe it's just me acting like a dumbass. Just trying to vent and get some stuff out there. I hadn't really don't know exactly what to do with that, but I definitely want to. Get into YouTube, a little bit more, and overall, just be the best part of be the best version of myself. Where that when I have a goal in mind and it's something that I commit to doing, the first thing is not me being scared. And the first thing is not me saying, "Oh, I can't do that shit because I don't have such and such skills or this or that." I hate having that fucking feeling. Like I hate that. I hate that is the first thing that I sit there and think about. And I know a lot of other people do it too, but I hate that. Like I want to be able to be like, all right, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And this is what I'm gonna do, and not be thinking, oh crap, only got like 7 followers already, so that's it. I guess I'll just stop. Or I did a couple videos and only 2 people looked at it. Like it's you know what I mean. I don't want to do that shit. I want to when I set up my mind to something, just fucking do it and be consistent in doing it. And so it's not a concrete hear number goals. It's more like abstract goals, but as you can see, it fired me up. I'm all excited for it. Just talking about it out loud. So
yeah, but I get what you're saying, because it's a lot of, there's plenty of gigs I done turned down because I'm like, man, I ain't got skills to do this shit.
But you do.
But I do, because people fly me out. They be like, Ron, I thought you didn't do that, baby. I gotta catch a flight, Chad. I'm finna. This what they fly me out for.
Because you do. Yeah. And that's changing that type of mindset. Because I had somebody who our mutual, Lil D. Shout out Lil D. Lil D had me doing some work for her, and she was like, hey, I need you to do this for me. I said, I don't know how to do that. Like, that was the first thing. I was like, I ain't good at that. Jarratt, I've seen your work. You can do it. And I'm literally over here stomach and not sweating. Like I'm like, I don't have all the technical setup. I don't have all the bells and whistles that I need. We already talked about how much expensive this shit is. So I'm doing it on my budgetary stuff and trying to make stuff happen. Yeah. I did it and sent it to her. She was like, it's dope. I love it. Huh? What you mean? What you mean? You know what I mean? Like, here's the cash app. Wait, you paying me for this? Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? So it's getting to that point where we're like not saying, we can't say no to us first.
Come on,
because everybody else gonna say no to us. You know what I'm saying? We gotta say yes first. Let them tell us no, and then when they tell us no, tell me why you told me no, so that I can work on that, and so I won't get a no again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you tell you no first, you ain't doing shit. You just gonna sit here watching Young Justice, and they only got 4 seasons of that, so you don't have to watch the reruns over and over again.
I've gotten way. I feel like I've gotten way better. But for me though, I have to think, when people book me for jobs or something like that, I have to think about my health first as well.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So that's one thing I be like, I can, but that's gonna tear me down, like physically and mentally, because of, you know, my condition or whatever. But I've gotten better. You know, I've learned to I can't never think of no good. Look, I be trying to use big words and can't think of none. I've learned to be more open about my condition. So sometimes I used to didn't tell nobody.
Right.
So I've learned to be more open with my condition when people want me to do stuff that I know is going to kind of break my body down. I'm like, look, I had brain aneurysm. I need my water. I need my food. I need my snack cakes. I need to sit down. I need this. I usually didn't say that. I used to be like, okay, and then be crying in the hotel room because I can't hold myself up or something like that. Right. But now I'm like, hey, bro, look, I can do it. It can be done, but I got conditions, and these are my
conditions. Like,
these are my terms and conditions. And I be like, and they be like, and sometimes I just buzz out, okay. I'm like, all right. Yeah. That's why I tell people, if they want you, they want you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. You're there setting conditions and setting boundaries, and boundaries ain't for them. Boundaries are for you.
Yeah. So I've learned to do that. Look, I got a milk condition. I can't be out past this. I can't be out past this certain time. I need this. I need a ride here. This is the kind of water I like. It can't be lukewarm. It has to be, seriously, it has to be ice cold.
Okay.
So like this is what I gotta have. If you want me, this is what I gotta have. And this is my price. Okay.
And they provide it. Yeah.
Here's your ticket.
Because you do. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't. Look, people don't give you ice cold water and snack cakes and fly you out if you trash. Okay,
that's fact.
You know that don't happen. That shit don't happen. You know what I mean? Ain't no way you don't sit there and tell me that you just eyed and people are flying you out and you have ice cold water for you and snack cakes. Nah, absolutely not. And you know what? You ain't gonna tell me otherwise. Ain't no way you gonna tell me otherwise. I don't believe.
I can't do the black. You like, I've gotten gotten better. I have gotten better at standing on my credentials. Sometimes it's hard for me because I have been through a lot, and I have, even though there are people that really, really love me, there are people who really, really despise the hell out of me as well. So sometimes I had issues with standing on my credentials because I didn't want to deal with that part.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
100%.
So, but now I'm like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I have worked way too hard to get here.
Absolutely.
Like, I didn't even become a photographer until maybe 3 or 4 years after my brain aneurysms. So like being a photographer wasn't even like on my life's to-do list. It just happened. So like I've worked way too hard physically and mentally to get where I'm at. So at this point, I don't let nobody like belittle me or tell me I ain't cold with the shits.
And they can't. You can love me or hate me, either or. I don't care.
Either way, I'm booked. Either way, I'm booked. Whether you like me or not, I'm booked.
Right. Yeah. So y'all can hate me too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all don't like. Let me look at the camera. Maybe y'all don't like me. Y'all can hate me too. Guess what? Still recording.
Still recording.
Still got dope guests. Still got fire ass episodes. Oh.
Yo, that's what it is. That's what it is. I stand on my credentials. I have worked too hard. I've prayed too hard. I've cried too hard.
All that.
All that.
All the above.
All that. I have spent so many hours on my computer. I spent so many hours on YouTube. I spent so many hours editing videos, editing pictures, doing marketing. I've done way too much to let anybody like belittle me, or you know what I'm saying? So I've gotten better.
I like when you talk that talk. That's when you and Ron Brown mode. I like that shit.
Yeah, that's
I like that. I like that. I'm a fan. I like that.
And like some people, like I've like really had some people like you walk in the room like you be running everything. I said I do. Right. I do run everything. Right. Now, do you want to stay or get put out? What you want to do? What you want to do?
What you want? I like that. Like walk in that room like your shit though. Think I love it. I love it. That's when you in your best.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. You have to do that. You have to walk with. These days, you have to walk with hella confidence, and that's because with social media these days, people can put any title behind their name.
That part.
Like
that part.
You know what? Let's go and end it because that's a whole nother.
Yeah. Oh, because I can go there. I can go there. I can go there. Oh, everybody a fucking expert. Relax. Relax. I've seen your content. You're not. Stop playing with me. Oh man, I was gonna tell you, stop faking, man. Like, social media.
Let's not look. I'd be like, let's not do this. We're not gonna do this.
Let me tell you what we're not doing. We're not doing that.
That's all. I mean, like for real, people like really put titles. Social media, they really put that title.
And the crazy thing is the people that is putting in that work and studying and trying to get better. Yeah, like people like me and you, we be hesitant on putting our titles and saying that stuff because we don't feel like we've ascended enough. And we see these people out here doing just randomly throwing their titles on there as consultant or creator or this. And I'm like, So I don't want to look like them. I ain't trying to, so I'm gonna say I'm just Jarratt. That's what I'm gonna say. No, fuck that. Fuck that. You are. I am not just Jarratt, and you are not just Ron Brown. Fuck that shit. Look. This year,
for real.
Let me look at the camera again. This year for 2025, we ain't being humble.
No, oh man.
We're tired of being humble.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine get on me real bad. Like she got boy.
Mm-hmm.
She rolled my back about how humble I am. She was like, you should not no.
Yeah, we don't have to be an egomaniac. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to be just completely conceited, in order, but we a little too humble. So 2025, we ain't gonna be humble no more. In 2025, we gonna take some trips because I heard your last episode. You need to get your passport. I'm gonna remind you.
Please do. Please do. I already, please do.
So I want to be the first one to remind you. You need to get your passport.
I gotta get my passport.
I got you, girl. I got you.
I'm gonna get it for real. I'm gonna get it for real. But yeah, so yeah, we not being humble. We have worked too hard. We have been through too much stuff. We probably have felt every emotion known to mankind. And yeah, look at one of my friends said, "Good, you too humble."
See, and they be getting me too. I be, I don't know. Jarratt, you do those shit. Okay. That's all you got. Like,
okay. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, so let me do this too. Even though you pretty much already done it, so I ain't gonna even ask you to do it. I usually ask my guests to give some type of motivation or something at the end, but you already did that, telling people we ain't being humble in 2025.
That's it. We stop being humble. Stop being humble. And if you really want some shit, if you're really trying to do some shit. Like you got a dream in mind and you're trying to do some shit, actually do the dream. Don't think about it, be about it.
Absolutely.
Do the research, be consistent, put out quality shit, and stop riding trends and waves from everybody else. Be you, be your most vulnerable, most authentic self. But bottom line, put in that motherfucking work.
The end.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Bye, y'all.